Where does the RSC stand on the university system? And obviously, a lot of people saw what I was up to and some other people were up to this weekend. I just think it's insane. Anybody on the Republican side who doesn't ever attempt to reform the American university system or do anything about that, because it has become the supply line opposing us that's crushing us. It's half the reason we have a bunch of idiots in the street tearing down statues, because we somehow have a generation of people who think America sucks when America's wonderful. What can we do to the university system to stop this?
Yeah, kudos to you, by the way. I've never seen anyone expose the hypocrisy of the left like you have over the last 3 or 4 days, and reminding all of us that you're exactly right. The ideology that you're taught on college campuses today runs in contrast with the values of what makes this country the greatest country in the world. And it's not lost on me that when some of these idiots are tearing down statues of our preeminent figures in American history, that the founders of this country who created this country based on the values of freedom, of individual liberties, the foundation that makes us the greatest country in the world. It's not lost on me that our universities are often teaching this left-wing violent ideology that's being acted out today in such a harsh way. What can Republican Study Committee do about it? First of all, Jesse, Republicans got to win back the majority. And when we do, and we control the committees within the House of Representatives again, then we need to pull in university officials, university leaders into the Education Committee that I serve on, the Oversight Committee, other committees, and force them to testify before the American people and explain how the curriculum that exists on these college campuses has ever been put into place to begin with, and why federal tax dollars should ever flow to universities that teach this garbage that's being taught on college campuses too. That's something that we can do, and if we get the majority back and control these committees again, that's absolutely something that we should do.
Outstanding. I know you're somebody who, and thank God for this, you're somebody who takes China very, very seriously. Congressman, we have multiple professors and people associated with our elite universities getting busted as Chinese spies. I don't know if that's too strong of a way to put it, but directly working for the Communist Party in China. How in the world did China get their fingers in our university system?
Yeah, it's been going on for years. And I introduced the first bill related to this subject a couple of years ago, the Protect Our Universities Act, to try to weed out Chinese nationals who were participating in sensitive or classified national security related research on college campuses. By the way, that goes on all over the place. And we don't track. What I learned that is astonishing is that we do not track who is involved in classified national security research on college campuses funded by your federal tax dollars through the Department of Defense or the intelligence agencies. So I introduced the first bill to try to focus on that, also try to weed out the Confucius Institutes, try to shine a bright light on some of the grants that come from companies like Huawei to a number of your public universities. The Chinese have had a concerted long-term strategy to plant themselves within the university structure on American college campuses, and they've been very successful at it. And finally, we have a president who's trying to do something about it. As you know, he kicked out thousands of Chinese students who had ties to the Chinese Communist Party a couple of weeks ago. That's a good start, but there's so much more that we need to do, and that's why I'm focused on that in some of the legislative work that I'm doing. The bill, once again, that I introduced, Protect Our Universities Act, is a big first step to do that.
Congressman Jim Banks of Indiana, I hope you are our next RSC chairman. We need you there. Appreciate you, sir.
Great to be with you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.